want to thank our fans for showing up the way they did. And we had a couple days to sell tickets. I'm not surprised. They've always done this. Had great impact on our energy level and our ability to keep coming. And just very thankful. I know the players and the coaches really appreciate that kind of support. That was an unbelievable atmosphere here tonight, and we're very thankful.
Fran, 59 points out of the freshmen tonight. I imagine when you get into a tournament like this is exactly what you're looking for those guys to get that experience in the postseason.
What I'm looking for is to try to win the game. Truthfully, I'm not thinking about who's scoring and what year they're in. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That is the farthest thing from my thought process. I go to those guys because they produce, and and they, I don't consider them freshmen anymore anyway. Those guys have been through a lot.
Is this the Tyler Cook you thought you'd see all year? Of course, his injury kind of set him back.
Yeah, I think what that set him back a little bit defensively, Rick. I mean, he wasn't seeing it defensively early, and so consequently he was in foul trouble, and he was a little bit late on rotations, whether we were pressing or whether we were man or zone. So he just, as he's had a chance to mature through experience, he's affecting the game at both ends, and you're also seeing it reflected in his rebounding totals, his rebounding numbers. At the beginning of the year, he wasn't getting 8-10 rebounds like he is now.
How much was Isaiah a difference maker in that first half?
Well, especially because P was in foul trouble. I mean, I've been trying to get Isaiah to consistently play with that level of aggressiveness. When he does, we're a better team. And he does more things. I mean, defensively, he makes more plays. And, I want to see him keep playing like that.
21 assists in the last 2 games for Jordan. How much has he matured as a pure point guard?
Well, I think the great thing about him tonight was, they really came after him. They were trapping him as much as they could. He really had to work, especially in the first half. But he just kept going, and he's really smart. So, if they were up into him, he just would go. And that's when you make plays for people. He got a few layups. We got him on the back door the one time. He's just going to keep coming. He's a tough guy, and he's also really smart, and he knows who's with him and how to get those guys the ball and what we need to be done. And it makes a difference for everybody out there when you have a guy that thinks like that.
It's almost like what the pressure Peter gets when he was up top. Is that the most he's faced all season, Jordan?
No, he's faced that quite a few times. I don't know. They trapped him a lot, but he's been trapped before. Sometimes they switch, sometimes they trap, sometimes they shut out. But he is a target. He has been a target for a while now.
Fran, it seems like Ahmad's energy was huge when you guys kind of got a little crazy.
Right when we needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He got on the glass defensively. He made a couple baskets. Transition basket was huge. Really got the crowd going. When he's playing like that, we're a lot better.
Coach, is there anything special that you told them at halftime?
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, we try to evaluate the first half. Okay, what worked, what didn't work? Did they do something that we weren't expecting? Who's hurting us? We're going to go man, zone, press. What are we going to run offensively? We just kind of reviewed some things that we thought needed to be reminded, and just wanted to compete.
You look at the hustle plays that Amon Wagner made. You look at the hustle plays that Amon Wagner made, especially on one possession. He had 2. I think he was going out of bounds, and he saved 1, and you scored off of it. And, I know you talked a little bit about him, but it seems he's been making those plays both.
Yeah, that's kind of what you expect from him. And that's what his game is. He's smart. He's athletic. He can guard smaller guys, bigger guys. And you expect him to make that kind of impact, especially if we're struggling offensively at any point in time. You want him to make those plays defensively and get us some second shots back. So there's nothing worse than having to play 2 or 3 possessions. You had a question about the turnovers?
Yes.
I was more upset about the 10 turnovers in the first half than I was the 6 in the second half. That's a more reasonable number. Probably 1 too many, maybe. But when a team's pressing and a team is doubling, you're going to turn it over a few times. You know, we had some chances in the first half, I thought, in transition. We jammed it in a few times and came up with nothing.
Looked like you really controlled the boards in the second half.
I think the first half was pretty even, if I'm not mistaken.
Second half, I agree.
Second half was a lot better.
Is that one of the biggest keys for your success?
Well, it has to be, because, you know, that's going to trigger our break. You know, we played a lot of zone in the second half, so you got to rebound out of the zone, especially with this kind of team, because they've got slashing rebounders. You know, Mooney's going to shoot, and then, you know, Birch Manny's going to attack the glass, Flack, those guys are going to go, Hurst. So they're going to knife in from various parts of the floor, so I thought we did a much better job. Then we got out and ran.
You were upset after Indiana. Did you challenge them specifically on the glass to really
Well,
pick it up like you had at the end of the year?
I would say it was a lot more than that. You know, I thought defensively we weren't where we needed to be against Indiana. We weren't connected at all, and obviously rebounding is a part of that. So I just felt like we needed, you know, be a little bit better in that area. You know, we let Indiana do some things that they like to do, and you've got to try to take that stuff away. We didn't do that, and that's disappointing. But again, it's another part of the journey where you learn and grow, and sometimes you have to fail to come back and get it right.
Coach, you got a talented TCU team coming in Sunday. A little more time between games in a normal tournament setting. How do you get prepared? What have you seen? I know it's just...
I haven't seen anything, so I'll watch them tonight, and we'll get it figured out. I know this, they're very good. I know Coach Dixon. I've coached against Jamie in the past when he was at Pitt. You know, one of the best coaches in our business. You know, you're a really good team there, really good guards. I know that. Just beat Kansas in the Big 12 tournament. I know that. So we got our hands full.
Felt a little sped up in the first half with those turnovers. Was it the guys pressing a little bit, trying to do too much?
I don't think they were pressing. I think it's, you know, I think you have to give credit to our opponent there. You know, we talk all the time about what we don't do, what we should have done, but sometimes your opponent takes you out of some things. You know, they knew some of our sets. They were trying to go after certain guys and make it hard for them. So you got to just respect them.
You talked about the journey. You could get a 20th win on Sunday. Fifth straight year of 20 wins. Does that mean anything, or is that just a number?
I think it's just a number. I mean, I just want our guys to keep winning. I want them to experience winning and success. They really work hard. They're a terrific group of young men that have tremendous character, and they bring it for me every day. There's no issues with this team, no selfishness at all, and those are the kind of teams you want to keep winning. You know, we're going to try to do everything we can as coaches to prepare them to play a really good team, and, you know, in conjunction with our fans, hopefully, you know, get it done.
We'll take one or two more if you got it.
Coach, bubble teams have a history of maybe coming out flat in the NIT. How proud are you of your guys playing hungry, hustling throughout the whole 2 halves?
I am very proud, you know, and I quite frankly would have been very shocked if they didn't do that. I mean, I just knowing this group the way that I do, I felt like they would come out and play this way with tremendous fight, you know. And I think, you know, when we prepared for this team, you know, they recognize, okay, this team won a championship. They won a regular season championship. They're a 20-win team. They're a championship team. Okay, and so that what comes with that is an element of respect. So we respected our opponent. We fought, and we got the job done. And that's what you want to do.
How much can a tournament run help a young roster?
Oh, it helps it tremendously. You know, but again, you know, we just look at, okay, we have to win Sunday. You know, I'm not looking at, okay, let's get a long run. But everybody wants to have a long run. You don't have a long run if you don't win the next game. You know, so all we're looking at was this game, and then we'll look at TCU, and we'll try to, like I said, we'll look. Hopefully, we can look back on a long run. But if you start thinking about a long run now, you won't have one.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Yep.